Hey there everyone, Madhog here, reporting from my place of respite. Okay, so, last night I finally watched Miss Hokusai by director Keiichi Hara, an IG production film, that is. I can say with a certain amount of certainty that Miss Hokusai is, so far, by far, the best film in the festival. So far. It just works on every level, almost every level, that is. The animation is clean and fluid, the characters are splendidly written and characterized, and also structurally speaking is very interesting because it is not a traditional three act story. It's more of a day by day slice of life, showing what the main character does again on a daily basis. This is the story, by the way, as the title suggests, of a Miss Hokusai, which is basically the untold story of, again, the titular main heroine, the daughter of a famous painter of the Edo period in Japan, named Hokusai. Her day-to-day lives consist in between helping out her father, her lousy father, by the way, with his artworks and commissions, and making commissions of her own, learning about little things in life, and being generally the most unimpressed woman in existence. Seriously, her glorious unimpressed face should be a meme, let me tell you. Her amazing bushy eyebrows help out in that matter. Those are the bushiest eyebrows that ever eyebrowed. All that, and also spending time with her sick, blind little sister. All of this contributes to making a really sweet, really human slice of life narrative, which is relaxed most of the time, and occasionally throws in some interesting supernatural elements that are somehow linked with the art of her father and Japanese folklore. This is mostly a mood piece. Well, a mood piece and a characters piece. And it does its job splendidly. It's just really slice of life of the finest wine. It also captures the transitory moment of history that Japan was going through at that time. The story takes place basically in the last era of Japan before it opened up its borders and it started to become the modern Japan that we know now. Basically, the Edo period was the last period of of the old style Japan, the samurai Japan, the feudal Japan. It's that moment in history that is going to change forever as soon as, to give you a context, the plot of The Lost Samurai kicks in. The Lost Samurai. Like I said, Japan opening the borders to foreign countries and relationships with the United States and all of that. That only happens outside of the scope and the mostly grounded narrative of Miss Hokusai, which, like I said, it's a great slice of life, character piece, mood piece, rolled into one beautiful, gorgeously animated sashimi dish. Yes, let's go with that analogy. Although there is but one nitpick that I have about this film. It has to do with its soundtrack. It's very inconsistent. You see, I was expecting a colorful biopic that takes some creative liberties in the narrative. I was expecting a well-done mood piece, which it all ended up being. I was not expecting rock music. Now seriously, the first few minutes of the film, Miss Hokusai is just walking around in Edo, minding her own business, and freaking rock music plays in the background like it's 1968. Which is weird because the vast majority of the film's soundtrack is mostly, again, mood pieces, ambient music suiting the particular moment that we are that we are being shown. In fact, there is even a moment in which I do believe the film plays a revised version of the theme from the film Furio. Look it up. It's a great piece of instrumentation. And again, there is rock music in the middle of the film and at the end of it, for no really adequately explained reason. It really doesn't fit with the rest of the film, tonally speaking. But it doesn't bother me all that much. It's an interesting contrast, at the very least. But like I said, it's inconsistent. Anyway, that was Miss Hokusai. It's great. It's fantastic. I should suggest you to hunt it down if there is a release in your area. Now, emblematically, we go from the best film to the absolute worst thing. In fact, it was broadcast right after that one. It's titled Harmony, directed by, I don't know, a typing monkey for all I care. Never in my life I've seen a film so utterly handicapped, droned, and burdened by exposition dialogue as much as in this film. Seriously, I cannot even bring myself to remember what this film was all about. Something about psychopaths meeting something or the other, philosophy, the arbitrary freedom versus pre-controlled limited liberty for the sake of security, self-consciousness versus the peace of mind of the human being, because the annihilation of self-consciousness brings the stop to violence. It's very pretentious and it's very patronizing in the way it tries and fails to explain itself. This film, you might as well call it redundant exposition dialogue and mental monologuing, the motion picture. The animated picture, at the very least. It's so bad. It's unwieldy and an incomprehensible nonsense that makes you want to annihilate your own self-consciousness so that you don't have to think about it anymore. Not that you will, because you will forget about everything about it as soon as the film ends and you run away from the freaking cinema, pulling your hair out, wishing you were never born. This film is really that bad. How do I even describe it? The main heroine goes back to the same stupid flashback 20 times in the film, rethinking and repeating the same identical words in slightly different order, meaning the same identical things, which is utterly meaningless. This is somebody's idea of mature science fiction. This is an infantile, patronizing, pretentious sci-fi at its worst. I can only imagine some sort of self-important teenager who thought Neon Genesis Evangelion or Metal Gear Solid are the greatest stories ever told would make a film this asinine. This freaking stupid exposition heavy film. And I'm not kidding. Every minute, every second, every ounce of this film is covered in self-important exposition or mental monologuing saying the same things over and over again for 2 hours. 2 hours of this BS. It's painful. There's a guy who's been shot to death, okay? He's bleeding on the floor. He's face down. He still talked for about 3 minutes before dying. This is not good filmmaking. This is infantile science fiction that wants to sound important instead of being important, instead of being actually intelligent. This is the kind of science fiction that needs to be burned. This film is worse than The Congress, The Matrix, and every film by Christopher Nolan put together in that regard. Yeah, that's how bad the exposition is. Not even the central theme being a Yuri lesbian relationship between the main protagonist and the main antagonist. Not even that saves the film, because it is so utterly drowned by every single 100-ton word crumbling, precipitating on your head, putting you in a coma for 20 years. So my suggestion is do not even bother with this one. I would rather watch The Empire of Corpses 10 more times than sit through 2 minutes of this train wreck. Well, I hope that gives you a mild idea what's the general alternating quality of this festival. We have a really good one followed by a really bad one. But hey, today is a new day. Yes, it is. So let's see what the new day brings us. This has been Madhog, and I'll be seeing you relatively soon. Goodbye.